out. So revenues and spending. We need this tax bill to grow the economy. A healthy American economy where everybody works, folks make more money, actually generates more money for the government coffers. So one of the ways we're hoping to reduce the deficit over the long term is by having this tax bill passed.
Both bills aim at repealing the estate tax, of course, which targets the nation's wealthiest. Last week, Republican Senator Chuck Grassley told the Des Moines Register, "I think not having the estate tax recognizes the people that are investing as opposed to those that are just spending every darn penny they have, whether it's on booze or women or movies." So let me ask you, is that a fair characterization of 99.9% of U.S. households?
No, I'm not sure where that's coming from. On the estate tax, we would like to see it go away. We do not think that dying should invite the IRS into your life. Right now, when you pass away, it's a taxable event, a taxable transaction. We just don't think that's right. We do believe long-term in taxing the assets that families have collected over the generations. We just don't think it should be at the point of death.
Now, the Senate bill would repeal the Obamacare individual mandate. That's something the CBO says would leave 13 million Americans without insurance. Is the president okay with that?
Think about that for a second. So what the CBO is telling you is as soon as the government tells you you don't have to buy something, you're not going to. Is that necessarily a bad thing? I mean, do we really want to have some law on the books? This goes back to the underlying issue of health care, while at the same time recognizing that the Democrats have pitched health care as a tax, so it's entirely appropriate to be dealing with that now. Should the government really be telling you, forcing you to buy something you don't want to buy? We're absolutely comfortable with that. We're glad the Senate finally got around to repealing the individual mandate. The House had done it previously in a separate bill, so we're looking forward to that possibly being part of the final legislation.
So both bills have a cut for the corporate tax rate down to 20%. The president has said he could go up to 22%. You have some Republican senators that want to do that because they say they could help more middle class families if you just increased it a couple percentage points. Is that something where there could be negotiation?
Sure. Again, we liked 15% to begin with. We love that 20%. But if it takes a smaller change in there to get this across the finish line, we're willing to work on the details with both the House and the Senate. Keep in mind, it's not just us that the Senate is negotiating with. They have to negotiate with the House as well.
Well, still to come, a medical first when it comes to having children here in the United States. This is truly amazing. After a woman gives birth with a transplanted uterus. Ahead, the latest on the procedure and what it could mean for others trying to have kids.
And a Florida family reunites with their teenage daughter after she ran off with a soccer coach. Ahead, what her parents are saying about the ordeal. You're streaming CBSN.